Very much, Honorable Member. May you please be seated. Proceed, Tate Mokgoro.
Honorable Speaker of the Provincial Legislature, the Judge President, Honorable Members of the Executive Council, Honorable Members of the Provincial Legislature, leaders of political parties represented in the House, our esteemed traditional leaders, Your Worship, Executive Mayors and Mayors of our municipalities, Speakers of our councils, the Acting Director General, Mr. Kunene, and heads of department, chairpersons and chief executive officers of public entities, leaders of labor movements, civil society, faith-based organizations and business, the South African Local Government Association chairperson, comrades and friends, people of the Northwest. Let me use this opportunity to thank the African National Congress for the confidence they have demonstrated in me. I stand here in your honorable house to pledge my commitment to relentlessly deliver on the expectations of this glorious movement, the African National Congress, ensuring that we listen to the concerns, especially of the marginalized of our communities, and using society's scarce resources to address critical needs of our people. Our immediate past, if not the current time, is characterized by mistrust, skepticism, anger, and disappointment on the part of communities we serve for various reasons which I shall not go into. We have made mistakes in some areas and we need to learn from these as we go forward. Let us borrow from George Santayana when he said, I quote, "Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it." Top of my agenda come next week is to reduce, if not eliminate, the trust deficit between the people of Mokgoro and government. The concerns that our people have raised in the recent past include inefficient and ineffective delivery of services, waste of public resources, graft and corruption, lack of integrity in government, and poor leadership. We recognize the urgent need to develop and sustain a culture of good ethical and moral values. Indeed, the cost to society associated with unethical conduct in government is enormously huge. With the passage of time, the entire system becomes contaminated and infested with a destructive culture that does huge damage, from which recovery is particularly difficult. We commit to working tirelessly to restore stability and certainty in the province. We shall work hard to restore a sense of ownership regarding society and government. We shall deal with service delivery issues raised by the interministerial task team led by Honorable Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, and in this instance especially municipalities. We welcome the intervention of the interministerial technical team, task team rather, through Section 100, and are working collaboratively with national departments to address the weaknesses identified. Our President's message of Romana, should become an essential part of our branding. This is a commitment that should permeate the entire fabric of government and service delivery. All public officials, elected and appointed, should embrace this commitment. As we differ as political parties, the one thing that is common, that is a common denominator among us, are the people of this province, especially those marginalized communities. For their sake, I'd like to assure this Honorable House of my commitment to work with all parties so that we achieve the goals and objectives of the NDP. We simply cannot afford the luxuries of undue political party differences at the expense of our people. And indeed, in this context, the function of robust oversight, and I want to underline, robust oversight, is very critical if we are to maximize our efforts in delivering to our people. I'd like to extend a hand of collective leadership and citizen participation to all the residents of Mokgoro. The challenges of service delivery are enormously complex, vast, and huge, and can only be effectively tackled through collective efforts. We in government do not have all the answers to these challenges, but are better off when guided by our collective wisdom. Let us recall the words of Mencken when he says, I quote, "For every complex problem, there is an answer that is clear, simple, and wrong." In other words, the nature of complexity is of such a challenge that one must avoid quick solutions where we run headlong into addressing problems, but rather our efforts should be to mobilize and harness the enormous capacity that exists in our communities if we are really to effectively crack these challenges. Let us ensure that during the remaining 11 months of the 5th Parliament, we do not continue to be a bunch of elites whose goal is nothing but self-enrichment. When the ANC called me to this assignment of premiership, I responded by saying, Romana. I invite all the honorable members to say, Romaruna. Occupying a position of leadership is no opportunity for self-enrichment. Let me say that again. Occupying a position of leadership is no opportunity of self-enrichment, enrichment of friends and comrades. Our iconic father, Tata Nelson Mandela, reminds us when he says, freedom should not be understood to mean leadership positions or even appointments to top positions. It must be understood as the transformation of the lives of ordinary people in the hostels and the ghettos, in the squatter camps, on the farms, and in the mine compounds. It means constant consultation between leaders and members of their organizations. It demands of us to be in constant touch with the people to understand their needs, hopes, and fears, and to work together with them to improve their conditions. The events of the recent past have seen many of us, especially especially public servants loitering, not showing up for work at all, let me remind all concerned, the party is over.
Yes.
Those responsible for ensuring consequent management and fail to do so are as guilty as the perpetrators themselves. Let me once again borrow from Tata when he says, let us never be unmindful of the terrible past from which we come, using that memory not as a means to keep us shackled to the past in a negative manner, but rather as a joyous reminder of how far we have come and how much we have achieved. My wish, says Tata, is that South Africans never give up on the belief of goodness, that they cherish that faith in human beings as a cornerstone of our democracy, unquote. I have listened carefully to all the concerns regarding inclusivity based on gender, based on age, and disability. As for myself, I have never resisted going when it is time to go. I'm here to ensure a sound administration is handed over in 2019. And as I do so, ensuring a landslide victory for the ANC. Thereafter, the teacher in me will go back to the development of young people. Septuagenarians like myself ought to have extensive wisdom and sharing it with young people. I shall be doing exactly that in a few months. I would like to thank the Almighty for the opportunity to serve, and my brother family, including my partner Tebogo, my children and siblings, for all the encouragement and support. Let me thank Mr. Mahumapelo for our continuing selfless handover and all the good things that he has achieved in the past. After all the needs of our people, after all the needs of our people and the goals of our movement are greater than our selfish interest. And that is why I think it is important for us to learn from the lessons of Mr. Mahumapelo as he departs from us. Musa,
honorable members, remember, it's not even the maiden speech, but we are not allowed to interrupt any honorable member when he's speaking for the first time in the legislature. Please. Thank you.
Musa Khotla, Otlotahang. Kidikiri, Kasesibaka, Huapateleseha, Ibi Hapikione Naku. Yahu Sitipela, Hofita, Kaburin Tiridakati, Hudirela Sechabasaruna. Kinaku, Yahuri, Dira, Mekha, Ernest Ridira Gaone, Moditirolo Zasichaba. Hofetuhe, Hofetuhe, me Hofetuha Capotralo. What time is the clone that how the Lebai? mo mahikeng kapa ko kae re bona ditikologo tsa rona di jaaka mokgoditseng ka teng ke a itse ke a dumela gore na le bokgoni le maikaelelo mme ebile gape ke kgwetlho e mokgatlho wa rona wa African National Congress ka nako tse tsotlhe o re gopotsang gore bagaetsho a re se itebale tiro ke namane tona e re emetseng ka ga mowa nakare gape ke e latelang e simolole a re direng ka manontlhontlo re tshimolle gone jaanong e se ka beke e tlang e se ka kgwedi e tlang re bontshe setšhaba sa gaetsho sa Bokone Bophirima gore bagaetsho re utlwile dilelo a se ka re lelele mo go hiseng dikolo re lelele ka go senya bonnyane jo re na leng jone ka go ha re dire jalo isago e re eletsang re tla be re seng ke na le tsholohelo le tumelo mogolo jang mo badira mmogo mo mokgatlong wa rona wa African National Congress gore e le ruri re gatela pele mme ebile gape ke boela go kopa gape go gakolola maloko a legislature gore bao ba ka puo ya seeng ba bidiwang ba executive bogolo jang badiredipuso re ba beye leitlho re sekaseke diripoto tsa bona ka gonne ha re sa dire jalo ha lo sa dire jalo go tla tswela go le go setla go le dihihi mo baaging ba Bokone Bophirima mo sa gotla a ke kutle fa ke lebogele sebakanyana se mphileng sone ke a leboga